Welcome everyone. I'm Sandy, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and I'm really excited tonight because I get to show you a really cool technique, which is ink on vellum, which is not this card here. I just want to talk about that for a second. So last week, I had a little issue with getting things straight on my card. So it was suggested that I put another layer here, and I did, and look at that. Now I have a usable card. So yay! I love it. Thank you so much for your suggestions. We help each other because that's what we do, right? Okay. I wonder what this is. Now, what does that say? Celebration. Yes. Starting January 5th. And, well, here's the cover. What do you think? And here's the mini catalog. Sadly, I cannot open this for you. I cannot open this and show it to you, not until January the 5th. So, a couple reminders. If you would like the January to June mini and the January-Feb celebration flyer, then I think I can put the link here. It is definitely on my blog, and it's definitely here on my Facebook page, but if I can put the link here as well, you need to request that from me. It will take you to a Google form, and you open up the Google form, fill in your name and address, and voila, you're on my list. I don't charge for my catalogs, by the way. So that's one reminder. The other thing is, because it's going to be such a busy season for couriers, I have an order going in this Thursday, and it's going to take about a week and a bit to arrive, so that's lots of time for Christmas. I may put in one again later, but I just want to say, if you want to absolutely ensure that your goodies arrive on time, then go with my November 19th ordering. The other thing is, one last reminder, and then we'll get started, is we had fun at our last Stamp, Craft, and Chit Chat, which was last Friday. So every Friday, unless it falls on a holiday, every Friday we're going to be doing this at 7 p.m. It goes from 7 to 8:30. The link is if you go to my events here on the page, you will see the link to say that you're going, and then I will send you the link a couple days ahead of time. So yay! Alrighty, so let's say some quick hellos. Hi Grace and Kathy, Krista, Claire. I think I saw Marcy there as well, but the comments have rolled past. Yep, I did. Okay, so here we go. Exciting. So ink on vellum. It's a very messy technique. So the first thing I'm going to do, is lay down a piece of, this is actually the backing to some DSP Designer Series paper. Let's make sure that we're good and straight here. My camera looks crooked there. Okay, so this is just regular paper. Now, I suggested in my blog, if you've seen it, because it's already posted, that you cut a piece to pretty much what you're going to use, but maybe a little bit bigger. For the purposes of this video, I'm using a full sheet of vellum because I'm going to try and keep my hands clean. So I'm going to bring out some re-inkers, and I believe on my card, hi Janice, I believe on my card I used Pacific Point and Coastal Cabana. For this one, I'm going to bring in a little bit of Daffodil Delight. I've had this so long. I've had this, I don't know. I probably got it when I first got my Daffodil Delight stamp pad. Okay, a couple other tools. 1, a block. 2, another piece. Show you why I'm going to use that. If you feel so inclined, put on gloves, to keep your hands as clean as possible. Hey, Julie. Hey, Lisa. I think I got everybody. I think so. Okay. All right. So what do I need? Oh, the other thing you're going to need, this is like very important, is rubbing alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol, whatever you want to call it. Now, we only had 99%. You're good with 70. Probably anything over 70 will work just fine. And so now mine, because it's this strong, I find it really, really smells. So here we go. First thing I'm going to do is just spray. Now, there's a little nozzle here. I have to say, I have had this the wrong direction. Sprayed my face. Why not, right? So I'm going to aim this in the right direction, and I'm really just going to soak the area. Again, you would be using a smaller piece. I'm just doing this because we're going to be making a card with a white base. Oh, shock. Okay, the next thing is Pacific Point. Whew, there's the smell. It does go away pretty fast. I'm just going to put down a few dots. Now, I was watching other demonstrators do this, and they have a different technique. You do whichever one you like. I've even used my aqua paint. No, they're not called that. Water painters without the water. I just use the brush tip. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit of Granny Apple Green as well. Let's see what happens. So because this has rubbing alcohol under it, it's not going to make that. You know how if you just did this on paper, you'd end up with a blob? Not the case. So my technique is to go back in and protect your area. Spray a little bit more. There you go. This is where it starts to get messy and you see what kind of mess you're really going to make. And I do a couple things until I get it the way I like. So I may take the paper, bend it, and blow on it. But that's hard to do on camera. So method 2 is to take my other piece, which is going to be usable, by the way, and smush. And this way, I'm not getting my hands. I've got my fingers over here. I'm not getting my fingers gunched up. And move the rubbing alcohol and the ink around. So that's pretty cool, but that's not really what we're looking for. You can smush. I'm trying to avoid lines as much as possible. Doesn't mean it's always possible. Do I have other scrap? I do. I think I'm going to use this corner down here, so we'll ignore that. Now I notice I don't have any of this, so we want to bring that in a bit. The good thing about this technique, by the way, is you can keep adding. You can let it dry and keep going. So if I turn my paper around, I can do this again and bring it back up again. Like, it is so cool. So very cool. So my most trusted way is to blow on it. But again, that's hard to do on the video. So I am bringing this back again. You could use a straw. I thought of that, Lisa. I want a big area where I don't just get a line. I want to actually, you know, the whole thing. So it is a definitely possibility. So if you notice now, you're going to see my hands are getting rubbing alcohol on them. I just want little drip drops. That's kind of cool too. So I wanted to, you can do this too, by the way. Make it do this. Just add little bits and it pushes the color away, and I love those dark edges. I can do that with this one as well, and I will because it's a keeper. I may or may not have to add more. I love the look of this. So you keep playing with it basically until you've got what you like. Maybe I'll blow on this one and just see what we get. I don't really want you to hear me blowing on it. So super cool. Now what I did find is it looks best with white behind it. So this white looks pretty cool. I'm not really keen on those two blobs right there. So I could come back in again and do that again. And you get the coolest marks. I kind of took away from that area. I like the white areas as well. And again, we would keep going. So for the video, I'll keep going. And then I'll show you a couple that I did earlier. We're not going to use these. Some people use their heat tool to dry all of this and continue. I actually made my first few and the one for my card about a month ago. And then I forgot them. I just left them, forgot about them. And then when I started seeing demonstrators using this technique, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in there like a dirty shirt, you know? I want to do the same. My fingers have rubbing alcohol, in case you're wondering why that looks kind of wet. And keep going. Oh yeah, the other thing you can do is pull it across, smush it around. You can have so much fun with this. This is like where you get to just be, you get to be a kid, basically. Now, you might say, I don't really like that. The thing is, you're going to use a portion of this. This is not your card front. This is a little bit for the front. So just keep going. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave it like this to protect it and bring in the other pieces. And hopefully, oh, I do have a white piece. All right. And one dry off my hands. Dry my hands. I see some ink. We'll get rid of that too. Okay. So here's some others that I did. This one is using Pacific Point and Highland Heather, which I thought was kind of cool. And again, picture like a little window, and that's going to look so cool on a card. And another one where this must have been the cleanup one where I smushed against it. And again, if I don't like it, I can go back in. And then I went kind of crazy with Melon Mambo. I think it's Melon Mambo and a bit of Cherry Cobbler. So I still have this light area. So if I decide I like this area, then I will cut it up here. All depends on what you see in it. Here's my other sheet from earlier. Now I have a lot of ink on here, so I'm definitely going to spray that again. But it's just such a cool technique and super easy. And I actually didn't get messy. I did not get messy. I didn't show you this one. This one I also like. It looks like the sea to me. You know what I mean? So if you have, I forget the name of the sets that have, we used to have one with a mermaid, anything like that. But I also see the sky here. But I definitely see water, like as if it's kind of rippling. Love it. And then I did this one. So the block made these lines, and the block made this line. And then I definitely, I blew on this really hard to get all the different colors. So I used the same 3 colors, by the way, that I just talked about. So Pacific Point, Granny Apple Green, and Daffodil Delight. And the areas on this, like a panel right here, I could see. So I was just deciding whether or not I would use this one or this one, but I think I'm going to go for this one tonight. So next. Here we go. Okay, so first thing you need is a piece of paper. Now for my card, and I do everything in inches as you know, this is 4 1/8 by 5 3/4. And to cut the center, I used, I believe it's the second largest of the circle dies, but that didn't look pretty enough to me. So what I did is I had a separate piece of paper. I do it this way. I had a separate piece of paper, and I first cut, I used the largest of the scallops, cut that out, so you got that, and then set this one on. Remember at the time there was a piece here in the center, and then cut that out. So that, with these 2 sizes, so the largest and the second largest, made this perfect little window here. And I like it like that. I love it like that, actually. Now, if you take this piece, and when I was making my first card, I turned it around until I saw something that I really liked. If I really liked it this way, I would cut off the edges. But I think I'm going to go this way. Yeah, it's not really white, but I like this over here. So I'm going to have to cut this down just a little bit. I have my trimmer right here. My big one, big trimmer. And so my card is 4 1/8, and I definitely want to go small. I remember this is the side I want to use, which is why I turned it this way. Now my paper is curling a bit, and that is really not a big deal. I just want to, in the event of a little oopsie, yes, I want to make sure I don't cut off too much. Now, I wonder, I was thinking I could use this on the inside of the card, but then you don't want your glue to show, so I haven't quite worked that out yet. All right, so it's gonna go this way, And I'm going to lay down some Tombow. If you have other adhesives, use those. That's okay. So my question to you is tonight, have you played with vellum and ink? And if you have, how did it turn out? I am curious. We all know it can be very messy. But messy's our middle name, isn't it? All right. So if I put that on there, excuse me, going off camera here. And there we go. Again, with white behind it, that's going to look different. I love how this is darker, and you'll see why I wanted that like that in a moment. Okay, the next thing is, I do want to put this on, but I have die cut this deer. And the deer is from the snow globe scenes. So it's different than my original card, which I'll show you at the end. So, oh, these like to stick in here. So I've used this. On my previous one, I used the polar bear. But these are cool. This is the one for the card where you can make shaker cards and such. But I just love that deer. So I thought, I'm using it. So what I might have to do is trim this off just a little bit. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to fit that right in there. Okay, so got it. Ah, some of the ink is still, I guess it's not, isn't wet. We have a little bit of ink going on there, so make sure not to get that on anything. So there he is. How cute is that? Very. All right, I can put on my ring. Now, if you have a glue you might want to try is the, oh, what is it? The multi-purpose liquid glue. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Janice. I forget. I think we're caught up, but I'm not 100% sure. Little bit of glue. We don't want too much. We don't want it smushing gushing on our card, unless something's going on top of it, and then we don't mind. Sometimes that's how we hide things, right? It is. All right, and then just put that right on there. Haha, I see ink. Okay, so now I'm moving it. Where did I just see that ink? Is it coming from my fingers? Maybe. Okay, I know I just saw ink. So I turned it, hoping that my next piece, oh, there it is. Yeah, my next piece will cover that, so we're okay. Checking fingers again. Yep, they have ink on them. All right. Okay, so let's bring in the base of the card because that will help bring it together. So, hey, Dorothy, British Columbia, wonderful. I'm wondering if anyone else, well, shall we talk snow or shall we not? I know as Canadians, we talk about snow a lot. Here's the base of my card. I'm just using the regular Whisper White. Oh, what I didn't say, oh, I forgot to tell you. I used the Tasteful Textiles 3D embossing folder just to give it, well, some texture. Okay, so Whisper White, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and I did use my bone folder. Let's use it again to get it nice and flat. I like my cards to lay flat when I'm making them. Alrighty, bringing back the glue. You know, when you put things down. Anyway. All right, and I just want it around the edges. You don't need it, well, you can't put it across the center anyway, so that'll stop us from doing that, won't it? All right, now my edges are very thin, so just setting her down. Checking again for ink. There we go. And on it goes. Ah, there. I really am trying to avoid this getting any ink on anything. Gloves are a good idea, by the way. Okay, next. And I went ahead and heat embossed because I wasn't sure how long this would take. So you remember the set, Rooted in Nature. We've had this, was it just last year or the year before as well? I'm not sure. No snow on Vancouver Island. I love Vancouver Island. I was there once. All right, so here's my tree. I just used Whisper White. I heat embossed in silver, and then I cut it out using one of the Nature's Roots dies. These will never leave me. You know, I love those so much. They're just, oh, there goes one of my dies. Just beautiful, just beautiful. So this is going to go about here. And I say about because The last one had a polar bear. That was in a different spot. I've also gone ahead, by the way, and heat embossed the sentiment. And this is from Wrapped in Christmas, so right down here. And what I did is I heat embossed it. I didn't think about how straight it was on the paper. It was a big piece of paper because heat embossing, you need to keep your fingers away, right? And then I just cut it using my trimmer. So I'm gonna pop this up. Actually, well, you know what I can do? Okay, here's a way to make everything stick down better without getting ink on the piece. So here in Southern Ontario, we had monster high winds, scary, big trees down, things like that. Not in my yard, I was very lucky. And oh, that's my glue dots going bye-bye. I really wish I have to put something behind my work. Like I said, I'm going to pop this up. So dimensionals, I am going to put some behind here, and I'll show you how. It's very, very simple, and I'm sure you've all done it. I'm pretty sure you have, because this is the way I do it. Just a nice thin strip, and that'll be too long, so cut a little bit, and there we go. We use every piece of our dimensionals, every single bit. All right, sticky side down. I love that we can do that. Okay, I'm also going to pop this up, but I know, and of course I dropped there's my mistake on the back. I make mistakes too, okay? So I won't be able to, is this the back end? Yes. Won't be able to completely tie that down. Now, because this is black, you may want to use we have the black dimensionals. You get the large and the small in that package, which is nice. But I was thinking, oh yeah, let me just think if I'm going to do this. This and this. Yeah, I'm going to cut off the bottom of the tree. I know that sounds horrible, but I'm cutting off the bottom of the tree. I don't want it. All right, so let's put that down. Seems I've left my take your pick tool upstairs, but this is working. Alrighty. You know, here I go again. I had this ribbon here for a reason. I forgot the ribbon again. Oh my goodness. We'll do something else. We will improvise. I'm not afraid to tell you that I make mistakes. Not in the least. I know what I'll do. It will be different. Cards don't all have to be the same. And I have to tell you, when you do this technique, you will not have two cards that are identical. That's what I really, really love. And there's my little, I don't know if you can see that one little blue spot right there. We're just covering that up. And again, a glue dot would go right there. So I'm going to have to put on a pretend bow because I don't have what I want. Little bunny ears. This is from this is really cute. And I thought it kind of brought the black together because this is the only black on the card. So this is from the Playful Pets trim, also known as the cat and dog set. So if you missed the beginning of the video, go back. So I had a few reminders, one about our stamp, craft, and chat Friday, where we just get together. If you want to do your Christmas cards, do the envelopes, you go right ahead. You know, if you want to knit, that's perfectly fine too. So you can do whatever you want. So I would put the bow on, maybe over here. Not sure. I really wanted it to go across. Well, maybe actually right there, because I don't mind that this covers. So let's just pretend that's where that goes. Okay, I'm going to have to use my scissors. And now I wanted specific colors. So these are the adhesive back snowflakes, but some are kind of pink and some are kind of bluish and some are kind of silvery looking. I was looking for the silver. I didn't want the yellowy looking ones either. So I want them, I guess I want the most iridescent ones. Oh, that might be upside down. And these are cute, just as a little something something. Because the card is admittedly a little bit plain, but I have to tell you, this for me is the focal point. These two are the focal point, and that's really what I want you looking at when you look at the card. So I'm good with it. And upside down. Wait, which is the right side? Nope, it was the other side. You know, I had a 50-50 chance of getting that right. I'm glad you like this arrangement, Sandy. This is just, it's easy, it's fun, and I think we're going to leave it at that. I think underdone is better than overdone. Less is more, I guess we'll say. That's the card. So that's the one with the deer. Here's the original, and this is the one you'll see on my blog. So you can see I did manage to get more white area, but same thing, I used vellum to cut that out. Same thing here, but this is where I remembered to put the ribbon on. I can laugh at myself because this happens. How many times have I done this? I don't know. Too many. We'll see where that goes. We will see where that goes. Well, I'm glad you like the card. Yeah. So, again, go back to beginning. Ordering on the 19th. Chit Chat this week. You'll find that this Friday. You'll find that in the events right here on my page. And you can request your January to June mini, the new mini and the new celebration. I have to get those ordered so they go out in time. And if I can, I'll put the link right on up here in the description. And if I can't, it's on my blog, which is in the description, and it's also on my page. So I am so glad you joined me tonight on our blustery kind of day. A few other things you might want to do. If you have a spritzer, you can spritz a little bit of the, here it is. I even have this downstairs still. The Frost White ink. You put 1 drop into a full container, 70% will do the trick, and then spray it from a good 12 inches. I might consider, I don't know how it would spray on here, so always do a tester. I think that's kind of important. Test it first, and I want you to have lots of fun with this technique because you will dazzle yourself. You will have so much fun with it. Like at first I was like, I don't know about that, but I like how different it is everywhere. So my friends, I would like to say, sign up for my newsletter if you're not already getting it. I sent my newsletter out earlier this week. Again, my important links I will put up in the comments, and I will see you again next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Thank you again for joining me. Bye-bye.